A bouquet of flowers. A bouquet of flowers. He gives her a bouquet of flowers. He gives her a bouquet of flowers. A pair of shoes. A pair of shoes. She wears a pair of shoes that match her dress. She wears a pair of shoes that match her dress. A pot of stew. A pot of stew. I cooked a pot of stew for the family. I cooked a pot of stew for the family. A bar of gold. A bar of gold. He finds a bar of gold in the treasure chest. He finds a bar of gold in the treasure chest. A bale of hay. A bale of hay. Farmers store a bale of hay in the barn. Farmers store a bale of hay in the barn. A cup of coffee. A cup of coffee. I make a cup of coffee for myself. I make a cup of coffee for myself. A rasher of bacon. A rasher of bacon. He fries a rasher of bacon for breakfast. He fries a rasher of bacon for breakfast. A head of cabbage. A head of cabbage. She chops a head of cabbage for the salad. She chops a head of cabbage for the salad. A bulb of garlic. A bulb of garlic. She peels a bulb of garlic for the recipe. She peels a bulb of garlic for the recipe. A head of lettuce. A head of lettuce. She washes a head of lettuce. She washes a head of lettuce. A kernel of corn. A kernel of corn. He pops a kernel of corn in the microwave. He pops a kernel of corn in the microwave. A blister pack of pills. A blister pack of pills. She carries a blister pack of pills in her bag. She carries a blister pack of pills in her bag. A string of pearls. A string of pearls. She wears a string of pearls. She wears a string of pearls. A cluster of bananas. A cluster of bananas. He buys a cluster of bananas. He buys a cluster of bananas. A bundle of firewood. A bundle of firewood. He collects a bundle of firewood. He collects a bundle of firewood. A platter of sushi. A platter of sushi. She orders a platter of sushi. She orders a platter of sushi. A tube of toothpaste. A tube of toothpaste. He squeezes a tube of toothpaste onto his toothbrush. He squeezes a tube of toothpaste onto his toothbrush. A grain of rice. A grain of rice. She picks up a grain of rice with chopsticks. She picks up a grain of rice with chopsticks. A glass of milk. A glass of milk. She pours a glass of milk. She pours a glass of milk. A bar of chocolate. A bar of chocolate. He buys a bar of chocolate. He buys a bar of chocolate. A box of tissues. A box of tissues. I take a box of tissues from the shelf. I take a box of tissues from the shelf. A bunch of grapes. A bunch of grapes. She washes a bunch of grapes for the kids. She washes a bunch of grapes for the kids. A leaf of basil. A leaf of basil. She adds a leaf of basil to the salad. She adds a leaf of basil to the salad. A vial of perfume. A vial of perfume. She carries a vial of perfume. She carries a vial of perfume. A roll of tape. A roll of tape. I keep a roll of tape in my drawer. I keep a roll of tape in my drawer. A bucket of popcorn. A bucket of popcorn. I buy a bucket of popcorn at the movie theater. I buy a bucket of popcorn at the movie theater. A crate of oranges. A crate of oranges. She buys a crate of oranges at the market. She buys a crate of oranges at the market. A slice of pizza. A slice of pizza. He eats a slice of pizza for lunch. He eats a slice of pizza for lunch. A pinch of salt. A pinch of salt. I add a pinch of salt to the soup. I add a pinch of salt to the soup. A handful of nuts. A handful of nuts. He grabs a handful of nuts for a snack. He grabs a handful of nuts for a snack. A pot of tea. A pot of tea. She brews a pot of tea for the guests. She brews a pot of tea for the guests. A jug of milk. A jug of milk. He pours a jug of milk into the cereal. He pours a jug of milk into the cereal. A cup of flour. A cup of flour. She measures a cup of flour for the recipe. She measures a cup of flour for the recipe. A piece of cake. A piece of cake. I enjoy a piece of cake after dinner. I enjoy a piece of cake after dinner. A slice of bread. A slice of bread. She toasts a slice of bread. She toasts a slice of bread. A bottle of water. A bottle of water. He drinks a bottle of water after his workout. He drinks a bottle of water after his workout. A bowl of nibbles. A bowl of nibbles. He prepares a bowl of nibbles for the guests. He prepares a bowl of nibbles for the guests. A wedge of lemon. A wedge of lemon. She squeezes a wedge of lemon. She squeezes a wedge of lemon. A drop of water. A drop of water. I add a drop of water to the mixture. I add a drop of water to the mixture. A scoop of ice cream. A scoop of ice cream. She serves a scoop of ice cream. She serves a scoop of ice cream. A spoonful of syrup. A spoonful of syrup. She takes a spoonful of syrup for her cough. She takes a spoonful of syrup for her cough. A head of broccoli. A head of broccoli. He steams a head of broccoli for dinner. He steams a head of broccoli for dinner. A heap of clothes. A heap of clothes. She sorts a heap of clothes. She sorts a heap of clothes. A pile of books. A pile of books. She has a pile of books. She has a pile of books. A puff of smoke. A puff of smoke. A puff of smoke rises from the chimney. A puff of smoke rises from the chimney. A spool of thread. A spool of thread. I buy a spool of thread at the craft store. I buy a spool of thread at the craft store. A shot of espresso. A shot of espresso. I buy a shot of espresso. I buy a shot of espresso. A packet of sugar. A packet of sugar. He adds a packet of sugar to his coffee. He adds a packet of sugar to his coffee. A loaf of bread. A loaf of bread. She bakes a loaf of bread. She bakes a loaf of bread. A spoonful of sugar. A spoonful of sugar. She adds a spoonful of sugar to her tea. She adds a spoonful of sugar to her tea. A packet of biscuits. A packet of biscuits. She shares a packet of biscuits with her friends. She shares a packet of biscuits with her friends. A bag of chips. A bag of chips. He buys a bag of chips from the store. He buys a bag of chips from the store. A jar of honey. A jar of honey. She spreads a jar of honey on her toast. She spreads a jar of honey on her toast. A can of soda. A can of soda. He drinks a can of soda. He drinks a can of soda. A carton of eggs. A carton of eggs. She cracks a carton of eggs for the cake recipe. She cracks a carton of eggs for the cake recipe. A ream of paper. A ream of paper. He needs a ream of paper for the printer. He needs a ream of paper for the printer. A stick of butter. A stick of butter. She uses a stick of butter for baking. She uses a stick of butter for baking. A block of cheese. A block of cheese. He cuts a block of cheese. He cuts a block of cheese. A sliver of onion. A sliver of onion. She garnishes the dish with a sliver of onion. She garnishes the dish with a sliver of onion. A carton of juice. A carton of juice. I pour a carton of juice into a glass. I pour a carton of juice into a glass. A stalk of celery. A stalk of celery. He added a stalk of celery to the soup. He added a stalk of celery to the soup. A sheet of paper. A sheet of paper. I write my notes on a sheet of paper. I write my notes on a sheet of paper. A box of chocolates. A box of chocolates. I give my girlfriend a box of chocolates. I give my girlfriend a box of chocolates. A pack of gum. A pack of gum. She chews a pack of gum after lunch. She chews a pack of gum after lunch. A bundle of sticks. A bundle of sticks. He gathers a bundle of sticks for the fire. He gathers a bundle of sticks for the fire. A cluster of stars. A cluster of stars. They admire a cluster of stars in the night sky. They admire a cluster of stars in the night sky. A pinch of cinnamon. A pinch of cinnamon. She sprinkles a pinch of cinnamon on the dessert. She sprinkles a pinch of cinnamon on the dessert. A pint of beer. A pint of beer. She orders a pint of beer with her meal. She orders a pint of beer with her meal. A tray of cookies. A tray of cookies. She decorates a tray of cookies with icing. She decorates a tray of cookies with icing. A bottle of soda. A bottle of soda. He grabs a bottle of soda from the fridge. He grabs a bottle of soda from the fridge. A bale of cotton. A bale of cotton. She inspects a bale of cotton at the factory. She inspects a bale of cotton at the factory. A pair of scissors. A pair of scissors. She cuts the paper with a pair of scissors. She cuts the paper with a pair of scissors. A bowl of soup. A bowl of soup. She enjoys a bowl of soup on a cold day. She enjoys a bowl of soup on a cold day. A dollop of whipped cream. A dollop of whipped cream. He adds a dollop of whipped cream to his pie. He adds a dollop of whipped cream to his pie. A jug of orange juice. A jug of orange juice. She buys a jug of orange juice from the store. She buys a jug of orange juice from the store. A slice of ham. A slice of ham. He puts a slice of ham in his sandwich. He puts a slice of ham in his sandwich. A sprig of parsley. A sprig of parsley. She adds a sprig of parsley to the soup. She adds a sprig of parsley to the soup. A packet of tissues. A packet of tissues. He carries a packet of tissues in his pocket. He carries a packet of tissues in his pocket. A stack of pancakes. A stack of pancakes. I enjoy a stack of pancakes with syrup. I enjoy a stack of pancakes with syrup. A pint of ice cream. A pint of ice cream. He eats a pint of ice cream while watching a movie. He eats a pint of ice cream while watching a movie. A spoonful of yogurt. A spoonful of yogurt. She adds a spoonful of yogurt to her smoothie. She adds a spoonful of yogurt to her smoothie. A ladle of soup. A ladle of soup. She pours a ladle of soup into the bowl. She pours a ladle of soup into the bowl. A teaspoon of honey. A teaspoon of honey. She takes a teaspoon of honey for her sore throat. She takes a teaspoon of honey for her sore throat. A clove of garlic. A clove of garlic. He chops a clove of garlic for the recipe. He chops a clove of garlic for the recipe. A bar of soap. A bar of soap. He washes his hands with a bar of soap. He washes his hands with a bar of soap. A dab of cream. A dab of cream. She applies a dab of cream. She applies a dab of cream. A bottle of ketchup. A bottle of ketchup. Can you pass me a bottle of ketchup? Can you pass me a bottle of ketchup? A stick of chalk. A stick of chalk. The teacher writes on the board with a stick of chalk. The teacher writes on the board with a stick of chalk. A flake of snow. A flake of snow. A flake of snow lands on my nose. A flake of snow lands on my nose. A bit of dust. A bit of dust. He wipes away a bit of dust from the shelf. He wipes away a bit of dust from the shelf. A roll of fabric. A roll of fabric. He unrolls a roll of fabric on the table. He unrolls a roll of fabric on the table. A goblet of wine. A goblet of wine. She sips a goblet of wine at the dinner. She sips a goblet of wine at the dinner. A tank of gas. A tank of gas. He fills up his car with a tank of gas. He fills up his car with a tank of gas. A bunch of wheat. A bunch of wheat. He harvests a bunch of wheat from the field. He harvests a bunch of wheat from the field. A set of plates. A set of plates. She buys a set of plates for the kitchen. She buys a set of plates for the kitchen. A gallon of milk. A gallon of milk. She pours a gallon of milk into the jug. She pours a gallon of milk into the jug.